Hi all, welcome to the Secure Coding in Python course. So this is a brand new things we are introducing on our channel. In this course, we are going to learn about how to secure your Python code, how to code in Python, and the things that we need to keep in mind. So for being a cybersecurity professional, there are some time that we need to review our codes, that we have to review the codes of our client to know where exactly the bugs is getting out, where is the vulnerability. So for that perspective, this course is very important. And for developers, course is again very important for you because you are the guys who are leaving the loopholes for the security people. Anyways, there's a lot of developers who are taking care of secure coding. But this is why we are starting this course. So the topics, things that we're going to cover in this course will be why secure coding, what secure coding, why we're taking Python at first. There's a lot of language. Why Python only at the starting? We'll show you a vulnerable code, how to fix it as an example for this course, and then we'll go through with the fixing the problem, and we'll tell you the common vulnerability which is exists right now on most of the Python applications website, and then we'll go through with the overview of secure coding best practices. This will be the content of this course, and this is going to be the first video on the channel actually on the YouTube, I guess, or on any platform where you're seeing that someone is starting from very basic because the tutorials are very advanced. I've gone through, but neither I found something from very basics. So this is important, guys. Gives a high five. So what is secure coding at first? So start writing your code safe from today. What is secure coding? So secure coding is means something coding in a way that it's keep your software safe from the hackers, right? It's about thinking ahead and preventing things that could go wrong, like bugs or security holes, which could be exploited by the hackers. And why does it matter? Because imagine if you build an application, but you forgot to check if the data users or the users is using or entering is safe or not. So hacker might be use the mistake to break into the system, and secure coding will going to prevent this kind of problems. Now the big question: why Python? Because I love Snake? No, that is not the answer. Because Python is one of the most popular programming language that people use it to build website application and even control robots. So there's AI all the places. So a lot of people are using Python. So because of this widely used, attackers often target Python apps for finding and weaknesses. So Python is easy to use, but sometimes people make mistakes that leaves the code vulnerable, right? So without secure coding, your app might let attackers steal your information and break the things. So, for example, let's say if you're building a login page. So see if you're building a login page. So there will be two columns: username and password. So here, if you're using anything, the username, and here you're entering anything as a password. So what does it do? It take as an input, go to database, try to authenticate from the database whatever it's being found in the table, rows, and column. If something is found there, it will just check it's correct and then going to authenticate you for the portal, right? This is usually how does it work, but there is something that we need to take care of the encryption as well. It should not come into the uh, what we say in the text format or something. So this is what. So if you are familiar with SQL, there's a lot of queries, right? Like one equals to one. This is something which is being used to just certify the uh, parameters like it's true. So for in basic overview, like if you say one is equal to one, this is true, right? If you say VIH equals to VIH, right? It's true because the first thing is matching with the second. Okay, so this is actually what I'm going to show you in this video. But there's a lot of things which may trick the system into thinking that system is being logged in, right? So I'm going to tell you, show you example. So here is a code I've just coded a few minutes ago. So this is a very basic Python login script. It creates a small database with the two users. Here you can see there are two users. So I'm using SQLite 3 to create a database. Database name is insecure login.db, and it will just store as a form of text, user and password. First user that I created is admin, and password is password123, which is being used for the login. Second user is admin user1, and password will be my password. So this is what you can use to authenticate a system and get logged in. This is the pop-up that you're going to get in the starting. Welcome to the insecure system login. A login system, enter your username, then enter your password. This is going to authenticate from the database, and then if it's true, you'll get logged in. You'll get this message. If it's failed, then you'll get this message: login failed, incorrect username or password. Right? So let's test it. Test it out. Yeah. So username as usual that I've used admin, password 12. All right. So we are logged in. Parallelly, if you're going to use uh, something wrong, then this is not going to log you in, right? Let's clear this. Now let's try something from the hacker's perspective. Let's run it once again. So what does hacker will do? So I'm going to show you how to just bypass this login page. Okay, by doing SQL injection. Okay, so this is very basic. You can try on your system as well. This is for education purpose only. So let's say if I'm just entering a username admin, right, and password anything. Now the question is why this is logging you in, logging successfully. Well, so why this is logging? This is a very big question. So let me try to break this thing and let me try to explain you. So there is a something that is being here. Let me try to break this thing. Right. So there is something. Let's say this. Right. This line is there. So you can see what exactly the code do. The input that we are entering was admin colon dash dash. A password was anything, right? So what it does is this two query means this is going to ignore everything what comes next, right? So we are using admin dash dash which comes here, and then whatever comes after that will be ignored. So that's why whatever password we are entering, it's taking and then authentic. This is the use of this parameter if you're using SQL family, right? So this is why it's happening. So let me so system is broken, and let's try one more uh, kind of, let's try to break one once again. So there is one more statement which authenticate which says uh, the input that you are entering is correct, right? That is or one equals to one equals to, right? And password can be anything. Again it says login successfully welcome. So again, congratulations, we are breaking to system once again. So this is exactly how it's working. So again, the thing that I have told you something after there is one. It is something different. One equals to one. So it's a correct statement. One always equals to one, and we are entering dash dash. So it means it's ignoring everything what comes next. And this is the correct statement. So that's why it seems like the input that you are entering is correct and it's taking. Yes. Now the main question is why is this dangerous? So SQL injection is very dangerous because hacker can log into your system without knowing any password. They can steal or delete data from the tables, rows, and columns. And if the database is exposed, it could destroy your app actually. Data leakage, everything will be something that you need to take care of. So how to fix this problem? So this is the parameter which is going to be headache for us. So this is from where we need to just do the things that we are planning to. So here it's taking of username. So instead of this, just try to replace with, just try to ignore the entire line actually from here to here. Username will be right, and then and password, right. This is what we have replaced right there. Then save this code. There is something that we need to change. One more. This one, cursor execute query, right? So here you need to specify the username and password. Comma will be required. There's the name, password, right? So this, I guess, although this is correct. So what does I done here is something, this question mark. So this is the placeholder which ensure that the input are treated as data, not as a code. Okay, and this prevent the SQL injection. So before that, whatever we were entering was like taking inside as a data, as a code. Now this will be taking as data only. Now I hope this is not going to just create some panic in this code. So now let's try to test this functionality. Let's save this code. Yes, it's unclear thing. So let's try admin, comma, password anything. So it seems you are not logged in. Okay. So the login fails and SQL injection doesn't work right now or anymore. This is a very basic example how you can fix a very basic SQL injection. And there's a lot of things that we're going to learn in this course. So this is just something going to the introduction. How does it work? Right. So now let's get into the uh, let's have a summary of this entire code that we have done. So SQL injection basically happen when the user input are directly used in the SQL queries actually. Hackers can break in using tricks like admin or one equals to one query. To fix it, always use parameterized queries, right? This is something that we need to take care of. Now let's get back to the that function side. So I've shown you demo. Sorry, the PPT missed. And what are the risks that is usually the common security risk in Python right now? So these are the common security problems in Python applications. The first thing is the injection attack. So this happens when your application use untrusted data, which can be what a user is type or directly as a into the database query. So this could let attackers run harmful command actually, that I've shown you earlier in this PS code actually. And second thing is insecure password storage. So storing passwords safely is crucial. Storing them in a plain text is not a good thing. Have to be secure is it in encrypted form. So for example, storing password as a plain text would be like writing them down is a sticky and viewed by everyone. Now outdated or vulnerable libraries. So Python apps offers a lot of libraries, which is kind of nothing, just a pre-written codes. Okay. So it actually save the time. You should not have to write a lot of things. So you directly take libraries. So, but sometimes libraries also have a flaw because it's a code. You're not seeing inside what's there. So sometimes library will create panic for you. So always try to code by your. It might take a little bit more time, but it doesn't matter. You use library, but check the source code if you're take willing to make your code secure. Just go into the secure source code. You can check on GitHub. There might be of Django and all, so you can check from there as well. So suppose if any library is outdated, then attacker may take advantage of that specific. Last is unvalidated user input. So if your app doesn't properly check that user enter, and they can mess with that. So for example, an attacker might enter harmful data that crash your application or steal information. Now the next thing is overview. So overview, the 5 point: validate and sanitize user input. So always check what user are entering, and for example, make sure that their name doesn't contain weird characters or unexpected code. So always just add this restrictions while entering or creating username. Second thing is you can simply go through with the check box, like only letter and spaces are allowed. It doesn't allow any special character or something. Second thing is the hash password. So hash password means not storing your password in a plain text. So never store your password in a plain text. There is a hashing algorithm which is called PC crypt or bcrypt. To store password securely, you can use that in Python, which is very important, which is very helpful actually. And third is user safe database query. Use Sorry, this is typo. Use safe database query. So avoid putting user input directly into database queries. Use parameters queries, as I told you earlier, to prevent SQL injection. So I have shown you example of select a star from user, where user will be question mark and password will be question mark instead of user and password. Okay, so this make attackers harder to break into. Now keep libraries updated. So libraries are great actually, but sometimes they have bugs and security flaw, which make sure and always make sure you update them and uh, latest version or safest version as well. Now avoid dangerous functions. So there are a couple of dangerous functions in Python. Two examples are basically, well, like, these are the dangerous functionality. So avoid using this kind of functionality that can actually execute code you didn't intend it actually, and this can be exploited by attackers, and if not carefully, then can be harmful. This is what we have learned in this introductory video. I hope you've learned a lot of things. Just drop your comment, ask your instructor if you have any query. Let me know how this goes. Actually, I'm seeing that side a lot of times because there is light or something. If it directly comes here, there's a prompter or something. So thank you very much, and I'm using that specific board which is right there. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Jai Hind. Let's see you. Have a good